You to lock it up.
In the state of Montana, approximately 70% of suicides are completed by firearm.
More than 100 people rally in Billings, pushing for gun safety and raising awareness about suicide. Plus, Calves to Cure.
We're just thankful that everybody around the state is willing to help us.
Billings cattle auction turns into a powerful fundraiser, helping a Warden family in the fight against a rare disease. And hands-on learning.
There's a shortage of that when it comes to beef and cattle processing.
Joliet students head to Livingston, getting real-world training in a Montana #1 industry. We're talking about meat processing. The MTN 530 News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Montana has one of the highest suicide rates in the nation, something that we know second only in the country. It is a sobering statistic, and one St. Vincent and others are hoping to change by promoting gun storage safety. Our Hannah Pettiferi explains.
It was a moment that changed Lillian's life forever.
He was an incredible, hardworking man and a loving father.
When her dad, Dustin, passed away by suicide.
He passed away in December of 2022.
Lillian says her dad was handling a lot.
He was just fighting a lot of problems and he couldn't overcome them.
Now she says the heartbreak only grows and the days without him don't get easier.
It doesn't get better, even when people say that it will. It never does, and I don't think it ever will.
Almost 3 years later, she's pushing for change in the name of safety.
I think there should be a lot more laws that should be passed for it to happen and to be legal. Because, it's so easy to just get one, and you never know what could happen.
And today, remembering him with hundreds of others.
I just want him to know, how many people really did love him, how many people there are that aren't only going through the same, that are going through the same things.
At the Out of the Darkness walk, April Keipel with Intermountain Health was handing out free gun logs.
They're intended for suicide prevention.
April says that suicide with a gun is fairly common in the state.
In the state of Montana, approximately 70% of suicides are completed by firearm. Montana has been in the top 4 for suicide rates for the last 40 years.
And she says with firearms, sometimes seconds can make all the difference.
The amount of time it would take to unlock it, often those split seconds, can be all that's needed.
Lillian says that the best thing to do is just reach out to someone.
I think help and asking for help, reaching out to people really does make an impact on people. You're not alone, and all of these people, we're all here for a reason.
In Billings, Hannah Pettiferi, MTN News.
A Billings family is raising some concerns tonight after their 14-year-old son was hit by a car while walking to school last week. It happened at Broadwater and 24th Street West. Kason Perkins was headed to West High School. Well, his parents aren't blaming the driver. Instead, they just want to raise some awareness about safety now that school is back in session and the school year's underway.
One, absolutely miraculous this didn't turn out worse. 2, be very careful. Kids are walking to school. Slow down. An extra 30 seconds, could mean life or death. I know it sounds kind of silly, and I've already mentioned it once, but I see it all the time. People taking turns and they're going from the inside lane and skipping lanes to the outside lane. That's dangerous. It's actually illegal.
Well, Kason thankfully suffered only minor injuries. Cattle auctions are nothing new in Billings, but this one comes with a twist: Calves to Cure. It isn't just about selling cows, it's about raising money for a rare disease a Warden family is determined to fight. Our Isabel Spart shows us how their efforts are helping not only their own journey, but others facing the same battle.
At the Billings Livestock Commission, people usually gather to sell cattle for profit. But on Thursday, it was a sale for progress, all for one 11-year-old Warden boy.
We get donations from people with their cows.
Grant Heaton is like any other 5th grader, except at the age of 3, he was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, a rare genetic condition that affects boys.
It's a muscle disease where over time my muscles break down to scar tissue.
By their teens, many are wheelchair-bound and don't live past their 20s. It's why his parents, Laura and Paul, are determined to find a cure.
He's a regular knot-headed 11-year-old. You know, he's a really good kid and has a lot of fun. His muscles just don't work like ours do.
Thursday marked their 7th annual Calves to Cure cattle auction, and with the community's help over the years, have raised over $130,000. Funds go directly to Cure Duchenne, a national organization that helps fund research. In the last 2 decades, over $27 million have helped fund 19 clinical trials and 1 FDA-approved drug.
There's been a lot of incredible progress that's been made through families like the Heatons who have taken upon themselves to fundraise and support the work that we do.
Grant has participated in several trials, but none so far have been a match. But a solution is in sight.
I think in the next 3 years, we're going to see some really meaningful progress.
There hasn't been anything that's been the right fit for Grant, but doesn't mean we're not going to stop watching.
It's a difficult conversation for any child, but one Grant is aware of.
A kid any age shouldn't have to worry about that, but he's handling it as well as you can hope.
Still, he doesn't let that affect him, and the Heatons keep going.
We'll do what we can for as long as we can and raise money and support our good cause as much as we can.
I'd like to say thank you to everybody that showed up today.
Because even if there's not yet a cure, it's bringing awareness and also hope for so many other families walking the same road.
Like diabetes, where you have treatments that can manage that and you can live a normal life. We believe that next 10 years, we're going to have something like that for every boy.
In Billings, Isabel Sparts, MTN News.
Here comes the shift in our weather pattern. Check out 87 in Glasgow and Miles City with just a few clouds, mainly sunshine today, but 61 in Butte, Dillon at 62. The cooler, wetter conditions. You can see the clouds increasing, bringing those showers. A few isolated thunderstorms along with it as well, and also some wind. Livingston, you're already seeing wind gusts of over 30 miles per hour. Stronger gusts near 60 miles per hour down the Rocky Mountain front around Cut Bank here this afternoon, but less than 10 miles an hour into the eastern plains. So as that front starts to move in during the evening hours of tonight, we'll start to see the more active weather. That could mean a good chance of rain tonight through at least tomorrow morning, and especially areas from around Forsyth, Billings towards the west. Then we'll look for the warmer weather pattern to immediately build back in again with temperatures again above seasonal averages. Things start to level off a little bit towards the end of the work week, but to help you plan the rest of the week, stick around for the forecast details coming up.
The nation's top education official wrapped up a Montana tour joined by Governor Greg Gianforte. U.S. Secretary of Education Linda McMahon visited Montana schools last week from elementary classrooms to the university level. While Governor Greg Gianforte joined her as a part of the Returning Education to the States tour. The trip comes as President Trump pushes to close the U.S. Department of Education, shifting some of its duties to other agencies, giving states more control over funding and policy.
Well, you can't just flick the switch, turn off the lights, and walk out of the building. There are a lot of things that have to be unwound, and absolutely, in order to fully complete this project and to have education returned to the states, Congress has to vote on that. So it's a step-by-step project.
Gianforte says Montana is ready if the federal government takes a smaller role in overseeing education, saying he'd be happy with less money if it came with less red tape. Heating your home this winter will cost more money. The National Energy Assistance Directors Association says the average household will spend, get this, $976 to stay warm this season. That's nearly an 8% increase from last year due to higher natural gas and electricity prices. Dozens of utility companies have already raised their rates or plan to do so. Meanwhile, federal assistance for utility bills has remained at $4 billion for the past 2 years. Still to come on the MTN 530 News on Q2, from the classroom to the field, the Joliet School District helping to teach students the value of meat processing in a pretty unique way. We'll show you in tonight's Montana Egg Report. And later, racing to success on the track and in school. We'll meet this week's class act, who is seemingly always staying busy. So stay with us. The Joliet School District is inspiring students outside the classroom, and they're doing it through hands-on training, where youth of today can begin to realize the importance of Montana's #1 industry. In tonight's Montana Egg Report, our Charlie Calves shows us how students learn the ins and the outs of meat processing.
Every Wednesday, 5 students from Joliet High School come here to the Producer Partnership location located east of Livingston and get their first look at what meat processing is all about. For hundreds of years, it's been a Montana staple. The art of processing meat, needed in both business and pleasure.
I hunt enough that, it's helping out with that as well.
But at a time when processors are fewer and fewer.
There's a shortage of that when it comes to beef and cattle processing.
One nonprofit is getting creative to inspire the next generation.
The more skills that you have as you get older, the better off you are.
And that's what you see here, where Joliet students are getting hands-on experience testing out the trade.
I'm super appreciative. This has been a great opportunity to learn, and I'm excited on what I can learn.
I feel like it can help me a lot through life. It could be a life skill.
Seniors Gavin Thompson and Kason Crook are among the first 5 Montana students learning the ins and outs on a weekly basis at Producer Partnership.
It's definitely pretty impactful. I mean, there's definitely some things here that I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that's where that came from. And it's definitely a lot harder than people think it is.
A hands-on way of learning that Producer Partnership owner Matt Pearson had always dreamed of.
Teach people the art, let them understand what it takes and how their food is produced.
For years, his organization helped local ranchers donate their beef to Montana school lunches. That's actually how he met Joliet Superintendent Clark Bager, where he brought up his actual intentions.
And so he had talked about bringing some students up here to work with them and teach them some skills.
Bager jumped at the chance, fulfilling Pearson's goal for the first time ever.
So to be able to get even a small school like Joliet to be that excited to have this many students, really, to be able to show up once a week is huge for us.
And regardless of if the students wind up working in the industry, Bager knows this work-study program is helping his students be ready for life.
All the exposure to help them, that when they walk out of Joliet schools with a diploma, that they're on a path.
No, I think this is just a great program. It's definitely something I'd encourage people to do if they get the chance.
An impact already being felt, and one Pearson hopes spreads.
We would love to do this every day. I mean, any school who wants to be a part of it, we would enjoy it.
Anyone can do it. It's pretty simple. Just gotta learn it.
Near Livingston, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
And joining me now are Ed McIntosh, where we're definitely going to see some changes come Monday morning.
That's right. All of a sudden, it's going to be a lot cooler. Over the weekend, we've been experiencing warmer than average temperatures. The blue shaded areas show what's going to happen behind the cold front that's moving through tonight. We'll talk more about that with the forecast. But notice all the deep red starting to move in. That means we're not quite done with all the warm either. We'll show you the whole breakdown with the 7-day forecast up next.
Storm Tracker weather starts now with meteorologist Ed McIntosh.
Welcome back, and a live shot with Stockman Bank Weather Cam looking over Billings, sunshine. It was a warm day. Compared to average for this time of the year, we started off 10 degrees warmer than average at 57 degrees, 87, 15 degrees above the 72, which is typical here on what is turning out to be the last full day of summer. Top wind gusts so far at 29 miles per hour. We'll likely be updating this thing along the evening because we're already seeing, as we told you earlier, the cooler temperatures, 60s in western Montana to those 80s from Billings into the eastern plains. But as that cold front approaches throughout the evening, it'll produce more and more wind. Wind gusts right now hitting 50 miles per hour in the Rocky Mountain front, and some of that wind will continue to spread out. So we'll be looking routinely 20, 30 mile per hour wind gusts from Billings off to the eastern plains as we start going overnight into tomorrow. So even overnight, some of this wind will be developing, and some of these showers and thunderstorms as well will continue to push off towards us, increasing the cloud cover here in the short term. So let me show you the storm tracker forecast. Cold front is moving in towards us here this evening. That's going to punch through rather quickly and leave us cooler tomorrow.